corruption. And we decided that one of the ways to celebrate Keep Walking is to actually celebrate individuals like this. Just, can you stop it for a while? Yeah. Celebrate individuals like this. So he's not the typical success person, like really rich and famous, but he's really the one pushing society forward by being the voice of justice. So this is quite a, he's one of the individuals. We shot a total of 12 in all walks of life, but I usually love to show this one because basically we went into a lot of risk to shoot him. He actually lost his job after this thing aired, and throughout the campaign we were actually worried that the entire campaign is going to get shut down. So the clients were very worried, we're very worried, we were monitoring it every day, but we felt that this is really true, and it resonates with a lot of people. This was the #1 viewed film of our entire series, and actually it has more number of views and more talkability than anything we've created. So it's a very bold move to get away from just ads. So you can see it's about a story, it's about a person that people know, it's real, it's authentic, and that's what we've been talking about on how I personally think that way films has to be approached. Maybe not as dark as this, but it is kind of serious and heavy.
So I like the fact that it's not some like typical, like not that Wei Dianying are that old, but they've already started to have cliches about like some couple's love story or something like that, where this is a completely new area, actually very serious topic, you know, helping basically rural people who are sort of, you know, without any help in Chinese society. Was it difficult to convince the client to do something this, you know, I don't see any drinking in this video at all.
Any clients? Yeah. It was actually very difficult, but it was something that I think they understood the concept of social media being real, and it's something we're out to make an impact. We shot 12, so the backup plan was anything wrong, we pull this one out. But you know, we got to be responsible and be sensitive to, you know, business realities.
Okay, great. So this is definitely like a step forward in, as far as evolution goes. And let's see, what's our third example? So in this case, we've seen sort of two different areas. And how do you feel as far as like as a marketer? Okay, let's talk purely marketing. So now you have a Wei Dianying that people are sharing all over the place, or they're talking about a lot on social media. How do you use that as a marketer? Like, how do you integrate that with other portions of a marketing plan?
I think, you know, I think usually when a lot of clients do Wei Dianying and stuff, they just look at it as just shoot the film and then just basically put it up online. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it, but I think we tend to use a more sort of integrated approach with film and other digital engagement to make it happen. So I just want to quickly show something we've just done early on this year. It was for, before you play it, Rafi, I just want to talk briefly about the background. It was actually for the outdoor brand North Face. Everybody know North Face, right? It's a jacket brand. Yeah, and we were the branding agency, and the problem with North Face is this. In China, nobody really go outdoors, okay? They just wear it to like, you know, to parties, really. I mean, seriously, it's expensive jacket. It was like $3,000. So it's more like a fashion item, right? So the problem was, how do you get that to actually get people to really appreciate the outdoors? Because the roots of the brand, and again, that word authenticity, is that it is an outdoor brand. So basically, we did a lot of research, and we found that actually the connection between Chinese people and outdoors, one of the connection is actually it brings people together when you're outdoors. When you don't have really barriers, you're there, you can be free. So we decided to just create this campaign about freedom. And we decided to use Wei Dianying as the way to launch it. So I'll show the case. So you can see how we started with the film, and it kind of extended to different ideas too. So I think it's important to also take a look at the holistic view of how it's used. So I'll just, the voiceover is very weird, by the way, but because I just made this like in like 3 days. Oh, we should have filmed first. This is fine. So we got Lu Chuan, one of the very famous Chinese directors, to work on this.
我是一个爱家、爱朋友的人。
Oh, there's no subtitles on this one. Oops.
更是一个爱自由的人。
Basically, this guy is he's a very famous editor in China for a magazine called Xinzhoukan. It's a very famous magazine. So basically, it talks about he's a real outdoor person. He climbed mountains. He's like 60 plus years old. So he's not an actor. He's like a real person. It talks about his idea of the campaign name is called 去野, like 河野. It's about finding your wild side. So it talks about like traditional Chinese fathers, like very
他却
quiet, reserved, and his son's relationship and how it was rebuilt through an expedition that he had with his son together. So it's a true story. It wasn't really scripted. We shot it through a series of interviews, and we actually went to Yunnan to do this. It was a pretty big deal. There's no subtitles. Maybe we just kind of skip this thing, but you can get the sort of feel for this sort of wading.
那我必须让他自己走下去。
I guess the big thing is, at the beginning they have a strained relationship. The son can't keep up on the hike. He's really not an outdoorsy person, but sort of their father-son relationship bonds over the course of their
只有他
hike.
爬过他心中的那个
Yeah, and very subtle branding, just some logos from the jacket and a lot of pretty sceneries basically.
See, look how happy they are now.
And they're all happy afterwards.
You want to show the other one?
I think that's fine. I'll just show you guys the case of how everything kind of get put together and how
The brief.
Way movie is used.
The North Face has been facing fierce competition in the market with over 500 brands. Its biggest competitors have been outspending it for years. Thus, the brand is looking for a cut-through to grow awareness and leadership. The reality: China has a different relationship with outdoors that has been considered undesirable under the rapid economic expansion, whose focus is on the cities.
Japan. That's not
我觉得
China.
我还没有这方面的很强的意识。
The traditional outdoor communication has been proven to be too aspirational to consumers here.
So Chinese people can't climb these
The
mountains.
change. The rapid economic
kind of feel it's
progress
kind
brings
of
more
not
pressure
relevant.
than happiness ever. People struggle to keep up. Many of them become nostalgic for a time when life was simpler and freer. Thus, we started the romanticization of outdoor. The approach: as the leader in outdoor exploration, the North Face knows a lot about the value of the outdoors and that it can offer a welcome sense of freedom from the control of city life. This time, it's aiming to inspire and enable a national outdoor movement in China. The idea: Go Wild, an invitation to people from all over China to go into the wild where we can experience that sense of freedom that only the outdoors can bring, the warmth of human togetherness, and even reconnect with who we are ourselves. We kicked off the campaign by challenging every urban dweller's routine through a campaign manifesto, which instantly sparkled a wave of consumer resonance. Riding on the active consumer discussion, we launched the Go Wild documentary films. Lu Chuan, the world-famous Chinese director for his film piece on outdoor wildlife, Kekeshili, was invited to direct and produce 4 stories based on 4 different real characters.
In addition, we created a special primetime segment with Phoenix TV to feature our Go Wild stories into the TV segment Walk with Dreams, hosted by China prominent newscaster.
Meanwhile, print and outdoor campaign was also launched in full scale, together with the PR event to generate national attention. All the inspired consumers are invited to the campaign microsite to write down their own manifesto to go wild. The brand also launched Chuyeba.com to enable consumers to join actual outdoor activities by themselves to experience the idea. To further enhance the experience, an exclusive mobile app was developed with China's #1 LBS provider Jpeng.com to brand all the check-ins during outdoor exploration with the North Face and make the whole experience much more fun. Last but not least, all of these who actually took their steps into the outdoors were encouraged and incentivized to share their meaningful experience back online in the North Face community. Result: from March 21st to April 30th, 2012, in less than a month and a half, The campaign documentary series received 10,619,120 views. Campaign earned special feature coverage on 3 famous national TV programs. Mobile Co-op received...
So very successful.
So I think the note here is that the way I've used Way Movie in a sort of a more integrated marketing context was I use it to actually start a conversation. If you want to start people, you want to get people to talk about going to the outdoors, you got to have a piece of content that is emotionally touching to people. And that's where I think Way Movies are very good at doing. It's film, it's emotional, it gets people talking. And then we have the other stuff to kind of make the conversation go bigger, right? Whether it's a check-in mobile app, whether it's other stuff that you do on the social media channels such as Facebook or Weibo. But I use it as part of the mix to create this social media movement, so to say. So it's not just one thing.
Okay, great. Thank you very much, Keen. I hope this has kind of whet all your guys' appetite. So we've talked sort of on the marketing side. Now let's talk as far as on the film creator side. So let me ask Hayward. 用英文可以吗？需要用中文？
一部分。
Okay. So let me first ask in English, and then I'll use my really bad Chinese to ask again, and maybe hopefully Keen can.
我可以听。
Okay. Keen can help.
Actually, if I speak in English, I will speak very slow.
Oh, that's okay. That's no problem. We have time. So first, let me ask. So as a feature film director, who's also done obviously MVs and short films, and then commercials, TV commercials, etc. Where do you see Wei Dianying in the, is it more like a creative thing or is it more like a advertising?
At first, it's really like an advertising thing more than a encouraging creative process. Firstly, I heard the terms of Wei Dianying is from Pang Ho Chong because we are good friend. And 当他跟我说要拍一部长片跟4个短片的project 的时候，他跟我说他们有一个新的名词叫做微电影，然后整个计划就是跟微博合作的。然后我觉得这个概念是本来它可能只是一个跟广告商合作的短片，但是因为它有跟微博有一个密切的关系，所以就有一个新的名词出现，然后牵起了一个热潮这样子。
Okay, let me translate for everybody.
I'm sorry.
So basically, Hayward heard from Pang Ho Chung, who she's collaborated with a lot, and in this case, I guess when it was commissioned, it was explicitly done with Sina Weibo, so that's where the sort of the Wei Dianying, Weibo connection comes in. And I forgot the rest. What was the rest? I'm not a professional translator. Don't look at me. Okay. So, but basically it was sort of introduced in the context of social media. So these are short films made specifically for social media, right?
对我来说，这个微电影的出现是突然间，除了商业的运作之外，可能有一些自发的创作人可能会把自己有的想法以微电影这个新的方式去呈现，然后吸引到其他的工作机会，这样子。
So, that's a hard one too. So, Keen. Your Mandarin must be better than mine.
My English is really poor. Can you help?
I wasn't really. No, okay.
Thank you.
I think what she was saying is, originally it started as advertising kind of brand and sponsored thing, but I think it also gave a lot of opportunities for directors. Actually, most of the time, lesser known directors, opportunities to have avenue or ways to. Create or show their work to others, right? Yeah. So I mean in the 2 example I did was actually we used the first Johnny Walker one was actually done by up and coming directors because they're good, but also because they're cheap. So it actually gave them a way to showcase their work, and actually some of them actually got bigger commercial projects after that sort of collaboration happened.
So sound good. Yeah. So to play to continue on that topic, like. I've noticed with some of the directors that we work with at Alive also, you may be doing one movie a year or sometimes less, one movie every 2 years. There's a lot of downtime where, especially a content that's paid for with a sponsor already, is a really good way to create more opportunities for directors to work. Because half the problem with waiting for, the reason why it takes a year or 2 years to get a film done is because of financing. And then, so if you come with a project which is short in content, short in time, therefore short in development time, and especially if it comes with a sponsor already attached, it's very attractive even to established directors, I think, to have more opportunities to work. Okay, I think. So let me ask you. So in your past experience, let me maybe show one or two of your films. So I have. Let me just really quickly show. This is one that you did previously for 7-Eleven, which, because there's no really talking in it, it's basically, I'll summarize it. It's basically about a guy who works at 7-Eleven, who has this, every day, this beautiful young actress, beautiful young lady comes in, and he sort of falls in love with her from afar. And as the story goes, kind of, he's trying to develop the courage to talk to her and, build a relationship with her. And in this case, obviously, product placement is the venue. But what I like about this film is the fact that you don't care about 7-Eleven after the first couple seconds. You care about the story and the people. So the sponsorship doesn't get in the way. It actually becomes, the situation with which the storytelling can happen. So this is one of your Wei Dianying. Another one that we can share.
Many audience told me the same thing, that they don't much care about the brand or the what is my client, but after watching the film, they just feel the story and stick on the characters.
So another one was for.
I don't know this is good for the client or not. So.
Yeah. Well, I think the proof is in the results, right? So. Well, tell us, what did 7-Eleven think of that film? Were they happy with it?
They love it because they love the couples.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think when they read or they watch the film, they will put themselves as audience more than to judge it in marketing. Yeah.
Okay, well that's.
But actually, they already got many product placement in visually.
Yeah.
So they will satisfy by some.
So for the guys who care about that,
read things.
Mm-hmm. So I think from in terms of creative projects, there's always a fight between the marketing guy and the creative agency on how strong the branding is or how clear the artistic expression is and the compromise you make. So in this case with, say, 7-Eleven or some of these other films you've done, how did that conversation go?
Actually, my client won't demand a lot of how to sell the branding or the product, because they looking for me to make the film. They are looking for some storyline and some 故事性的 some narration which touched people that make people feel it in a narration more than about the product. And actually, this popcorn 微电影 didn't shoot in the shopping mall. This is a campaign for a shopping mall, but we didn't shoot in the shopping mall. We didn't mention any words about the shopping mall. Yeah.
So when you went to the first meeting and you explained it, how did they react?
Firstly, they are really afraid of this. But they asked me why doing like this, but because I don't think because the shopping mall is named Popcorn, I don't think that we should shoot in the Popcorn shopping mall, and then we should get some branding big 那些叫什么广告牌啊什么的，yeah, so billboard, yeah. So my English is very poor. 我干脆说中文好了。
好
就是我们做的时候，他们有一点担心，就是是不是提那个商场太小了？一句也没有提，一句对白也没有说。但是而且我们拍的时候，那个商场还没有建好，所以他们很担心会不会没有达到要推广这个 shopping mall 的效果。但是我跟他们讨论的时候，就是其实他们去一个商场不是因为那里有多少东西买，或是那个地点有距离近啊什么也方便，而是我不知道我能不能用这个广告保证你能有很多的人流去那个商场。
Okay, 等一等，我需要翻译。Okay, that was a lot to translate all at once. So basically, when you were making it, or when the film was made, there was, as Hayward mentioned, not a single scene shot in the actual mall, no logos anywhere, no nothing. And so once it was edited, there was a lot of, I guess, apprehension by the client about that. And then
a little bit worry about we didn't mention any words about what is the advantages or what good about this shopping mall. We didn't sell anything.
So the question is, did they fall in love with the story and then say, I get it, or did they?
Yeah, I told them actually consumer they don't care what is in the shopping mall because every shopping mall are the same.
They care about really pretty young people. Will go to that.
I don't like the actress is here. Actually, the actress is here.
Were you in the movie?
Yeah,
oh, there we
she's
go.
with me.
I'll go to that mall.
Yeah, okay. You want to sit there?
Okay.
What I want to say is about we encourage or we sell this idea to the client. We